Hi everyone, let's talk about employee retention challenges. Employee retention is a big problem, especially with high competing industries such as BPO, where employees are hopping with one company to another in no sweat. Younger employees tend to shift companies more frequently compared to older generations. Have you ever wondered why people leave the company at a rate higher than the industry average? You must have noticed the hit to your bottom line. Indeed, a high rate of employee churn is a costly affair. So, what are the main reasons for employees leaving a company? Unsurprisingly, a bad salary can cost you your top employees. People also are constantly on the lookout for better opportunities that challenge and excite them, as per the latest surveys. Many employees even cite overworking and lack of appreciation as the reasons for leaving. Finally, there is something that is directly under your control: your failure to hire the right employees. When it comes to retaining the top performers, it becomes especially hard. They tend to jump ship constantly. So, identifying why employees leave your company and how to retain employees is crucial if you want to save thousands of money. So I will now discuss how each of these employee retention challenges affect your employee turnover rate and rid your company of your valuable employee. The first reason why employees leave the company is because of dissatisfaction of salary. If a person does not think they are being paid enough to do their job, then they perceive themselves to be underpaid. If they research the wages for that job and find they are indeed being underpaid, then their dissatisfaction is warranted. It goes without saying that in the absence of the right incentives, employees will be on the constant lookout for a new job. Some estimates show that most employees would leave for a 10% hike offered by another company. As a result, if you don't want to have an increased cost of employee turnover, then you need to break from the trend of miserly salaries and hikes. However, employees are not just looking for great salaries. They are also interested in the benefits on offer. This is shown by a study done by Aflac that concludes that one out of every four employees believe that a good package is an indication of the company's concerns for employees. As part of the package, most employees look for retirement benefits, paid sick leave, and health insurance, and failing to provide this can lead to a loss of talented employees. If an employee turns out to be a high performer, there is also the expectation of bonus programs and awards for employees to be put in a place. In most cases, these can be in the form of stock options that make sure the employee feels more connected to the company. Besides, employees also tend to not favor companies with rigid working hours. Second is better job opportunities in the market for employees. The employees feel the urge to leave by also seeing their colleagues walking out of the door. They feel the ripple effects of more workload, new employee trainings, as well as not seeing any company growth. Based on a recent survey by the Harris Poll, they found that people mainly leave their jobs due to lack of career development, employer recognition, job satisfaction, and career growth opportunities. So we can conclude that employees value upward mobility in their job. So if you fail to provide the same, you stand the risk of losing one in three employees, as the aforementioned study pointed out. Notably, employee attrition has been a thing even among companies that strive to provide developmental tools. This is largely because only 26% of employees found the tools effective. For more proof, look no further than the study put out by Global Talent Monitor, which concluded that there was a strong correlation between employees leaving, and the fact that they did not see a viable future in the company. The employees feel the urge to leave by also seeing their colleagues walking out of the door. This feeling is generally a result of spending countless years toiling away without any upward mobility. People may also shift to another job if they do not find their role with the current employer challenging enough. They may even leave the company if they feel they are not learning enough, and then they come across an opening that promises them rapid employee growth and advancement when it comes to skills. Another reason for employee retention is hiring wrong candidates. If there is one thing a company needs to know, it is that employee retention starts with the hiring process. It cannot be overstated how important it is to hire the right people for your team. One of the major employee retention objectives is to avoid hiring the wrong candidates. Making sure you pick the right person is especially important given how employees who have been with you longer tend to be the most productive. One of the key elements of employee attrition is the fact that managers place little emphasis on the whether people they hire can fit into the organizational culture. Also, there are times when managers have to onboard people rapidly without thinking about long term ramifications. Ideally, a candidate should have spent a significant amount of time in their previous company, which is a good sign of good employee engagement and the ability to stay committed to a role. Another thing managers need to look for before taking on staff is whether the employee has a volunteering record. Checking whether potential employees have been involved in any kind of team sports is another way to gauge if they will be ready to commit to your company. Of course, you can choose your own metrics to pick the right person, but remember how costly it is to pick the wrong person who refuses to stick around for long. Another reason for employee retention is lack of appreciation. So, like everyone else, employees feel the need to be thanked and appreciated for what they bring to the table. To have the best chance of talent retention, you need to prioritize in lifting the employee morale, appreciating them, and focusing on employee experience, which will lead to an engaged and motivated workforce. As per a comprehensive study, most senior executives think their company has in place mechanisms and to reward employees for good work, but only around 30% of employees feel the same way. This means that there is a lot of work left to be done if you are serious about your talent retention efforts. The gaps in showing employees that you value their work is quite prevalent about around the world, as evidenced by Gallup study that showed only 1 in 3 American workers get praised for something they had achieved in the last week. This is especially alarming given how employees who feel they are not valued enough are twice as likely to quit within a year. The issue of lack of appreciation is especially severe when employees feel that an unqualified person has gotten a promotion ahead of them. This brings in them a lack of confidence to stick on with their current employer. The last reason of employee retention is because of the unrealistic expectations from employees. Unsurprisingly, the unrealistic expectations from employees are the key driver of this stress, which consequently leads to employees quitting in droves. This means that the impetus is on managers to play an active role in helping employees cope with stress. That would be all. Thank you.